Guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got our 2021 Major League Baseball predictions. We did this last year with that weird funky 60-game season. I picked the Yankees to win the entire thing. Didn't happen, but it's a Mickey Mouse season. It's all right. We are now here though for the 2021 MLB season. I'm really pumped up for this year. Opening day's on Thursday. It feels like it was a really quick off season. I think it probably feels that way because last year we went through a super long off season, obviously waiting till July. But now we are back here and we're gonna get things started here in the AL East. But before that, folks, if you have not yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below for more MLB here on the channel. MLB 21, the show is coming out in the very near future, so be on the lookout for content with that game. Before, though, we get into the AL East, let's talk about who I think is going to win the AL MVP, Cy Young, NL MVP, and the NL Cy Young as well. So we're going to start here with the AL Cy Young. I'm going to go with Gerrit Cole. I picked him last year to win it. I'm going to go with Gerrit Cole again. Again, it kind of feels like the obvious pick to go with Gerrit Cole, but I'm going to go with Cole to win that Cy Young award. And then for MVP, I mean, I want to go something different, but yeah, we're going Mike Trout again. I mean, again, obvious pick right there. Picked him last year, picked these two guys last year, but it's Mike Trout, so that's my explanation. On to the National League, starting off with the Cy Young, we are going to go with Jacob deGrom. Feels like one of these years again, obvious picks, but deGrom, great pitcher for the Mets. Feel that he's probably going to win the Cy Young award. And then for the NL MVP, I'm going Juan Soto. Juan Soto, I think in the next 2 years will take over as the best player in baseball. Tremendous year last year. He was out for the first 2 weeks due to COVID, came back. Probably should have won the MVP if we're being honest with ourselves. It's all right, they gave it to Freddie Freeman. This is Soto's year. He's the best player on the Nationals. He's going to win the MVP. So now on to our division predictions. Starting up first with the AL East, the obvious fifth team here in the AL East is the Baltimore Orioles. Feels like they're here every single season. This team is just not very good. They were all right last year for parts of the season, 60-game season. I'm really going to disregard most of that season just because it was 60 games, it was super weird, and a lot of positive tests came up, and yeah, it just shook everything up. It was a funky year. 16 teams made the playoffs. I'm really just not going to talk about it often, but yeah, the Orioles were all right at times. I really like Ryan Mountcastle. Drafted him on my fantasy team. Hopefully he plays well for us. Trey Mancini's back. That's cool. Anthony Santander. You got Freddie Galvis playing shortstop. Severino's behind the dish. When Adley Rutschman's going to be on this team, I do not know. I think Adley Rutschman, again, the potential is sky high for him. I mean, there's no limits on that dude's potential. Adley Rutschman eventually, I think, will be a top 5 catcher in baseball, maybe even the top catcher in baseball. It's just a matter of when the Orioles bring him up. I don't know when. Hopefully it's this season, but likely it will be next year. All around, though, the Orioles' worst team in the AL East, the pitching staff, not very good. John Means, is Matt Harvey going to be on this rotation? I think he's going to be. The Orioles, last place. In fourth place, the Boston Red Sox. Yeah, what do you want me to say? Team's just all right, okay? Alex Verdugo, Kike Hernandez, JD Martinez, Xander Bogaerts, Rafael Devers, Renfroe, Vasquez. Bobby Dahlback's probably going to be starting now at first base this year. That's going to be cool. The pitching is just not very good. Garrett Richards, one of their better guys in their rotation. Just don't really see what the Red Sox can do here to be better than the 3 teams at the top of the division. And in third place, yeah, we've got the reigning defending AL champions. It is the Tampa Bay Rays. Of course, losing Blake Snell is tough, but the Rays are still a solid team. Austin Meadows, Randy Arozarena, 2 stars from the postseason last year. Brandon Lowe still on this team as well. Kevin Kiermaier, the great fielder in the outfield for Tampa. Of course, the rotation, pretty solid as well. Tyler Glasnow, amazing pitcher out of the stretch. Michael Wacha, they got Chris Archer back, so maybe Chris Archer returns to peak form here in Tampa. We'll see how that goes. And of course, the bullpen, very solid as well. They've got a lot of solid arms that can close games for them. Diego Castillo, probably be their main guy, but of course, tons of guys on the bullpen for Tampa Bay, but I still got them in third because the 1 and 2 teams in this division are very damn talented. Second place, we have got the Toronto Blue Jays, or I guess the Florida Blue Jays for now. Yeah, they're in Florida right now. Yeah, Toronto though. Starting off, again, really solid team for the Blue Jays. You got the young guys, of course, Kevin Biggio, Bo Bichette, Vladdy, the core 3 of that team, but also they got a lot of solid pieces as well. Marcus Semien going to be playing second base for that team. Teoscar Hernandez was a monster last year, hit a lot of home runs for that team. Lourdes Gurriel's here as well. Danny Jansen behind the plate. Grichuk in center. Rowdy Tellez will probably be the DH for this team. Big lefty, usually plays first, but he can also DH as well, obviously. And then the rotation, pretty damn good as well. Hyun-Jin Ryu, hoping for a really big year out of him for my fantasy team, but of course in real life as well, hoping for a big year out of him. Tanner Roark, Steven Matz, Ross Stripling, very good starting rotation for the Blue Jays. Unfortunately for them, no more Kirby Yates. He is undergoing a Tommy John surgery. Yeah, I picked him early in my fantasy draft as well. Stop talking about it. But yeah, Kirby Yates, tough. But He's no longer going to be the closer of this team. Jordan Romano is going to be the closer. I picked him up in fantasy, by the way. But, yeah, the Blue Jays in second place. All around, though, very solid team. Was there ever a doubt, though? I mean, the New York Yankees are the best team in the AL East, and it feels like they will be this way for a very long time. You want me to list off the names on this Yankees team? LeMahieu, Judge, Hicks, Stan, Glaber, Jay Bruce is on this team. Gio Urshela, Gary Sanchez, hopefully he's not batting like 190 like he did last year. Clint Frazier. That's the starting lineup for your Yankees. And then you got Garrett Cole. They added Corey Kluber in the offseason. Jameson Taillon's on this team now. Jordan Montgomery, Domingo Germán. I mean, like, this team is good. And, of course, the bullpen is really solid as well, too. Chad Green, Aroldis Chapman, just a couple names out of the bunch. Yeah, the Yankees are the best team in the AL East without a doubt. This team is in prime position to win now, and they're in prime position to win for the next 5 years. It is that simple. They gotta get past a couple bumps in the postseason like they have to do every single year, but this team should be the favorite, not out the AL East, but out of the entire American League. On now to the AL Central, and it feels like it's a pretty obvious pick here in 5th place. It is the Detroit Tigers. Now, don't get me wrong, this team is going to get a lot better. They have a really young pitching core that should be very good in the next couple years. I mean, Casey Mize should be in the starting rotation for this Tigers team this year. Obviously, one of the most hyped up prospects right now in the sport. Very excited for him. Also, Tariq Skubal is in the rotation as well. We'll see if we do get Matt Manning later. I don't know if he's going to get his shot this season, but yeah, eventually, man, the Tigers starting rotation is going to be very nasty. But the problem is their starting lineup's not very good. Robbie Grossman's on this team. Miggy's still batting cleanup most likely. Wilson Ramos is now behind the dish. Nomar Mazara is probably there to hit a couple home runs. This brings a lot of power to the plate. Jonathan Scopes there too, but yeah, I mean, the Tigers are the pretty obvious last place team in the AL Central. 4th place, Kansas City Royals. Team got a lot better in the offseason. They had a lot of good names to this team. I mean, alongside with Merrifield already on this team, Adalberto Mondesi, Sal Perez, Jorge Soler, who hits a lot of damn home runs, but they also got the former Washington National center fielder. They got Michael A. Taylor, brings a lot of contact to the plate and can hit some bombs when you need him to, especially in the postseason. Don't think the Royals are getting there this season, but also the biggest move obviously for them was Andrew Benintendi. Going to be batting second for this team most likely, playing in left field. That man is going to add a lot of power to this Royals team. The starting rotation is not horrible as well. Brad Keller's on this squad. Mike Minor, Danny Duffy, Brady Singer, the prospect, is going to be in the starting rotation as well. Don't forget about Greg Holland in the pen too. Yeah, but the Royals are the 4th best team in the AL Central. Again, a team like the Tigers who can be very good in the next couple of years, but just still in this season, not very great. Now I've got the Cleveland Indians at 3rd place. Of course, losing Francisco Lindor in the offseason is going to hurt, but this team is still pretty solid. Another one of these, I was thinking of putting the Indians in 2nd just because of their pitching staff. The pitching staff is incredible. Still Shane Bieber, obviously the Cy Young is number 1 in this rotation, but Zach Plezak's back, Logan Allen, Aaron Savali, Tristan McKenzie, the prospect, pitched really well last season. Excited for him as well. The lineup is not bad though. Don't get me wrong. They've got a lot of solid guys in this lineup. You got Cesar Hernandez, you got Jay Ram, you got Eddie Rosario, Fran Ram, you got Josh Naylor as well. Don't sleep on the Indians this season. I think they could definitely break into the top 2 of this division. Do I think they could win the division? Potentially. Do I think it's going to happen, though? No, the Indians will be in 3rd place. We've got the White Sox in 2nd, and I think a lot of people will be taking the White Sox to win this division. I think they're good, but I don't think they're as good as the number 1 team. You can probably tell by now, but I think that the White Sox are still number 2 in this division. Of course, they did well last season, but Tim Anderson, Adam Eaton, going to be batting 1-2 for this team. I'm a Nationals fan. Adam Eaton was terrible last year. I'm gonna keep it real through it, and I really like Adam Eaton. I don't think he should be batting second for this team, but he probably is. Jose Abreu, the reigning defending MVP of the AL, will be probably batting 3rd in this team. Yohan Moncada, incredible switch hitter, also on this team as well. Yasmani Grandal wasn't great last year, but the switch hitting catcher did win me a fantasy championship, so that was cool. But the White Sox, again, have a lot of solid pieces. You got Luis Robert on this team as well. You got Zach Collins. You got Andrew Vaughn, who I think is going to be playing left field. You got Nick Madrigal on this team as well, the prospect. Pitching rotation is not horrible as well. Lucas Giolito and Dallas Keuchel, to name a few. And also, you bring in Liam Hendricks to this team. That changes a lot. Hendricks will shut down teams in the 9th inning. Maybe the best closer in the game. So that's huge for the White Sox. But I still have them in 2nd. I'm not fully buying into the Chicago hype. And in 1st place, I got the Twins. Yeah, I'm picking the Minnesota Twins to win the division. I still like this team. I think the Twins are a very solid squad. Max Kepler, Josh Donaldson, Nelson Cruz, Miguel Miguel Sano, a lot of big power bats on this team. Don't forget the speedsters as well. Byron Buxton in center. You got one of the best fielding shortstops in the game, and Andrelton Simmons as well. This team is very solid, man. Yes, the pitching rotation is just all right. Obviously, Jose Barrios, one of the better pitchers in the American League. You got Kenta Maeda as well. Backside of the rotation is not great. J.A. Happ was not very good for the Yankees last year. Michael Pineda's here as well. Matt Shoemaker, all right. Taylor Rogers coming out the pen alongside Alex Comey. It's a solid team, and I think they're going to win this AL Central out. I think they're going to get the job done. Give it to them, Minnesota. So the Texas Rangers, I think, are the worst team in baseball. That team is terrible, man. You look at the Rangers, they are not very good, but hey, they will have 40,000 people apparently in their stadium. I don't think they're going to be able to sell it out. I know they can have full capacity in Texas. Good on them, but is anyone going to show up? I mean, this team is not very good. Other than Joey Gallo, what do you got on this team? Yeah, David Dahl just showed up in Texas. That's cool. Rougned Odor is probably going to be playing third base for this team this year. Fulton Nevich is in the starting lineup, or starting rotation for them. They got Dane Dunning now. This team, man, they're all right, but I don't know what else you want me to say. They are the worst team in the AL West. I think they might be the worst team in baseball. Yeah, Rangers in last. In second, I'm going with the Mariners. I do like this Mariners team. Don't get me wrong, they're young and they've got a lot of solid players on their team. I was close to putting them in third, but we're going to keep them here in fourth. Really like this team. Kyle Lewis batting third, playing center field, was a beast last season. One of the better players, honestly, in the American League last year. I mean, that's how good of a season Kyle Lewis did have last year. Kyle Seager's still on the squad. You got Dylan Moore playing second base. Excited to see him again. You got Evan White, the young prospect, finally getting his big chance here with the Mariners this season. Ty France is going to be DHing as well. You got J.P. Crawford leading off probably for this team. The starting rotation is not very good, though. I mean, Marco Gonzalez is going to be their opening day starter. James Paxton's here as well. It's just not that great. Their bullpen's all right at times. Rafael Montero is probably going to be their closer. The Mariners are a young team, and they're going to be a fun team to watch, but this year is just not their year. Going to stick with them in fourth place. I know I accidentally said second earlier, but yeah, Mariners in fourth. And again, probably missing the playoffs, it's the Anaheim Angels, or the Los Angeles Angels, whatever you want to call them. This team is good. Their lineup is good. Their pitching is terrible. There's no other way to put it. They still don't have pitching. I don't understand how this team, year in and year out, cannot get a pitching staff. It is their problem every single year. They put up runs. Don't get me wrong. Their bats are insane. I wouldn't say insane, but they're very good. David Fletcher, really damn good player. Shohei Ohtani is killing it in spring training right now. Mike Trout is the best player in baseball. Anthony Rendon is one of the better, maybe the best third baseman in baseball. Definitely a top 10 player in the game. Justin Upton's all right. Albert Pujols is a shell of his former self, but he's still solid at times. I don't get how this team does not at least make the playoffs. Well, I do know, because it is their pitching staff. Dylan Bundy, Andrew Heaney, Alex Cobb, Shohei Ohtani. Is it going to be Quintana or Canning? I don't know who's going to be their fifth starter, but it's every year, man. It is the pitching staff for the Angels, and it pisses me off watching every single year how Mike Trout has a solid damn season. And again, I'll say it again, I'm a Nationals fan. Watching Rendon go to this team is just, it sucks to see them suck every damn year. It's gonna happen again. I'm being pretty generous giving them third place here. I think definitely the Mariners should be third here, but gonna say maybe the Bats claw him out of fourth, put him in third place. But again, no playoffs for Anaheim. In second, we've got the Oakland Athletics. I know they won the AL West last season, but I've got them sliding down to second this year. This team is still very good, though. Don't get me wrong. Matt Olson, one of the better power hitting first basemen in the league. Matt Chapman, tremendous at the hot corner over there at third base. The pitching rotation is solid. I mean, it's all right. Chris Bassett, Jesus Luzardo, Sean Manaea. It's okay. Their bullpen is just all right as well. The A's are just a very solid team. There's no other way to put it. A team that could definitely slide into the postseason. Don't get me wrong. They could upset a lot of people here and definitely win the division. It seems like they do that a lot. The A's every year are not expected to be great, but then sometimes they are great. This season, still got them in second place, only behind, yeah, the Houston Astros. I know we all hate them, and I know they're going to be without Justin Verlander until probably like September. Maybe he comes back. I doubt JV will come back this year, but maybe they will. I know we hate this team, but they're still very good. Jose Altuve, Michael Brantley, Alex Bregman, Yordan Alvarez, Carlos Correa. They kept the core of guys. I mean, they still have their team. The pitching staff is still really good. Zach Greinke, Christian Javier. I mean, Lance McCullers is still here. Urquidy. Can we get a good year out of him maybe for my fantasy team? I don't know. Luis Garcia is still here too. I mean, yeah, Ryan Presley's their closer. The Astros, again, I'm gonna keep stressing this. I know we hate this team, but they are very good, and I'm gonna go with the Astros to win the damn thing. They're gonna win the AL West. Now we are going to the National League, and we will be starting, of course, in the NL East, and it might be a shocker, but I'm going with the Phillies in last. This team, again, feels like the Angels. They should be a lot better, but their bullpen is terrible. They blow leads all the damn time. You saw it last season. It felt like this team probably should have been a playoff team last year just because of the 60-game season. I know their bullpen sucked a lot, but it felt like they probably should have snuck in. They did not. I mean, this team has a lot of talent. They got Bryce Harper, who I still think is a top 10 player in the sport. Don't get me wrong, he hasn't been the Bryce Harper that we saw as MVP season, but last year, good year for Harper. These 2 years in Philly have been very good for Bryce, and I think he's probably going to be in the top 3 of the MVP race last year. I know I picked him to win MVP last year. Didn't happen, but I'm still really high on Harper. JT Realmuto, best catcher in the sport. Surprised the Phillies did get to re-sign him. That's big on their part. But other than that, I know Rhys Hoskins is here, and I know Andrew McCutchen's still here. But other than that, the team's not very good. Didi Gregorius is coming back. Alec Boehm going to be playing third base. Gene Segura's all right. Abdul Herrera is supposed to be back in center. Aaron Nola is pitching, of course. Great pitcher for them. He's going to be their ace. The rest of the rotation, not very good. Zach Wheeler's okay. Zach Eflin's Matt Moore is not very great. Chase Anderson, nothing special. Hector Neris is their closer, and that is very concerning. A lot of blown saves last year. Yeah, that reason alone, I'm putting the Phillies in last. And we've got the playoff team from last year, the Miami Marlins, now into 4th place. They're a good team, but they're not as good as the top 3 in this division. But this team is still pretty solid. Corey Dickerson, Starling Marte's now on this Marlins team. Jesus Aguilar had a pretty solid season at first base last year. Brian Anderson, very good fielder and a very good hitter at third base. Adam Duvall, probably be batting cleanup for this team. Jorge Alfaro, very good catcher. He can run as well. He's got some good contact and power too. Miguel Rojas always puts the ball in play at shortstop. And of course, their new starting second baseman, it is Jazz Chisholm. He has some power from the left side of the plate at second base. Don't get me wrong, this dude is a monster. Like, there's no other way to put it. Jazz Chisholm batting probably 5th or 6th. I'm excited. He just went out the job. Keep an eye out on him. He's going to be a superstar in this league very soon. The starting rotation is okay. I mean, Sandy Alcantara is their best pitcher. He's going to be a very good pitcher for them this year. Other than that, the rotation is kind of shaky. Pablo Lopez, Lecier Hernandez, Trevor Rogers. It's shaky. This team should be solid, but I have them in 4th place. And in 3rd, the Atlanta Braves. Yeah, controversial as hell, right? I got the Braves in 3rd. This team's good. Ronald Acuna, Ozzie Albies, Freddie Freeman, Marcell Ozuna. It's a good team. The starting rotation is very good too. I mean, Charlie Morton's now on this team. Ian Anderson, Max Fried, Drew Smyly, Kyle Wright's going to be pitching this year. Very good prospect right there. Their bullpen is all right as well. But yeah, I got them in 3rd. I just think the 2 teams ahead of them are better than the Braves. Don't get me wrong. I still think Atlanta's very good, but got him in 3rd. And in 2nd, it's the New York Mets. A lot of good improvements in the offseason for the Mets. The most notable, probably the most notable move in the entire league. They got Francisco Lindor on this team, one of the better shortstops in the MLB. He's going to be a big bat for them this season. Obviously, a really good fielder as well. The Mets are a good team. Jacob deGrom is still the best pitcher in the MLB. Well, maybe, debatably. I mean, he's one of the best pitchers in the MLB. Marcus Stroman's still in this rotation. They just got Joey Lucchesi. It's a solid rotation. Edwin Diaz, how will he be as their closer this year? We will see. He's been shaky at times, but of course he's still one of the better closers in the league, I guess. Pete Alonso, great power hitter for them at first base. Michael Conforto, Brandon Nimmo, Dominic Smith, really good batter as well there. Jeff McNeil can play everywhere, but he will be playing second base most likely for this team. J.D. Davis, James McCann. It's a solid team in New York, but I got them in 2nd place. Behind the Washington Nationals. Yeah, the Nationals are good, man. I said they were going to be in the World Series last year, but forget about that. Again, Mickey Mouse season. The Nationals, in my eyes, are still the reigning defending World Series champions. This team is good. Josh Bell is a great addition to this team. If we get a Josh Bell that is good, if we get a Josh Bell that's like kind of his all-star version in Washington, it's going to play a big part. I think Josh Bell really dictates where this team's going to go, because you know Trey Turner is going to be good. He was one of the best players in baseball last year. I would say a top 10 player in the game in Trey Turner. Maybe the best shortstop in the league, other than maybe Francisco Lindor. He's a very good shortstop. Juan Soto, I think, is the best player in baseball, only behind Mike Trout. yeah, that dude's gonna win the MVP. He's going to be a star. He's gonna be the face of baseball very quickly. Kyle Schwarber's on this team as well. Big power hitting left fielder for them. Starling Castro's gonna be back. He'll slide over to third base this year. I don't love Josh Harrison at second. I like him as a player, but it's going to be tough betting him sixth probably on this team. Then you got Yan Gomes behind the dish. No more Kurt Suzuki here in Washington. It will most likely just be the Yan Gomes show. That is concerning. Victor Robles, great center fielder in the field. Hitting wise, he's not very great. Their starting rotation is still one of the best in baseball. Max Scherzer, Steven Strasburg coming back from carpal tunnel last year. He will be back in the rotation, and then Patrick Corbin third, of course. They added John Lester in the offseason, the greatest number 34 to ever play in Washington. Excited for him this season. Joe Ross coming back after last year sitting out. Excited for him. The bench for Washington is solid as well. Still, Ryan Zimmerman is coming back. They got Andrew Stevenson, who I'm kind of disappointed is not starting this year. I know they got Kyle Schwarber, but Andrew Stevenson, a guy to look out for on this Nationals team. He can play in the outfield, and he batted really well last season for them towards the end of the year. Disappointed he's not getting a starting job, but it's all right. And then, of course, the bullpen is still shaky. They lost Sean Doolittle, but you still got Daniel Hudson on this team, and you got Brad Hand over from Cleveland. That is a huge addition for this Nationals team. Their bullpen has always been terrible. Excited for him this year. The problem with the Nationals is their defense is not going to be good this year. I mean, like, look at this team. You got some great power hitters on this team, but other than Turner, Soto, and Castro, and Robles, you got Josh Bell in the infield, who, oh my goodness, he's not great. Kyle Schwarber's not very good in the outfield. Josh Harrison's all right, but he's not great at second. Yan Gomes, yeah, teams are going to be stealing on Yan Gomes this year. That's my main concern with the Nationals, is how is their fielding going to be? Right now on paper, it's not very good. Hopefully in the regular season it gets better, but right now I got them tentatively in first place in the division. National League Central time, man. Yeah, it's obvious. The Pittsburgh Pirates are the worst team in this division. I don't know how you want me to put it. This team is not very good. Brian Reynolds, exciting player, gonna probably be in left field this year, I would think. I'm probably batting third for this team as well. The pitching is not good at all. Mitch Keller is gonna be playing. That's gonna be fun to watch. Gregory Polanco's still here. Colin Moran's still here. I mean, the exciting part is Ke'Bryan Hayes. I think that's pretty obvious. Ke'Bryan Hayes should be batting either fourth, probably, or maybe even second. I don't know. Ke'Bryan Hayes will be in the top four guys somewhere in the starting lineup. Excited for him. Big prospect. That's your main thing you're gonna have to look out for here for Pittsburgh. But other than that, this Pirates team's not very good. They're the pretty obvious last place in this division. Fourth place, we got the Cubs. Not sold on this team at all. I mean, they were not very good last season. They were all right. I know they did make the playoffs. They did win the division, but they got swept by the Marlins in the first round at home, at Wrigley. I don't think the Cubs are that good this year. I really don't think they are. Chris Bryant is somehow still on this team. You still get Anthony Rizzo, who is still doing all right for himself, if being honest. You got Jake Arrieta back, so that's cool. But the thing is, Jake Arrieta might be one of the better pitchers on this Cubs team. Other than Kyle Hendricks, he's probably the best pitcher on this team. That's concerning. Craig Kimbrell still coming out the bullpen for the Cubs. You got Ian Happ still. You still got Wilson Contreras. You got Javi Baez. I just don't think the Cubs are all that great. They're just not that good of a team. Again, the NL Central is the toughest division, I think, to call in the entire league, but we're going to stick with the Cubs in fourth place. In third, we got the Reds. I thought this team was going to be very good last year. Don't get me wrong, they made the playoffs, but they're all right. They're a solid team this year. Still got a lot of power bats on this team. Nick Castellanos is on this team. Joey Votto still batting third. Eugenio Suarez is going to be probably batting cleanup. This team is good. Mike Moustakas as well. Nick Senzel. The rotation is not bad as well. Don't get me wrong. Luis Castillo, though, is the top guy in that rotation. The problem is their bullpen's not very good, though. You still got Amir Garrett on this team. Sean Doolittle's their closer, and trust me, as a Nationals fan, that is concerning. He was terrible last year, was due. That's going to be tough. He's your closer on this Reds team. I'm worried how they're going to close out games, because this team is going to put up a lot of runs. They're going to be ahead in a lot of games. I don't know how they finish. And that's why I'm concerned with this team, and I got them in third place. Coming up just short of the division crown, we are going to have the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers missed out on the playoffs last year, a team that a lot of people thought were going to make it, especially with the 16 teams, but they're still very solid, man. They really are. Christian Yelich, I know, had that terrible start of the season. He was just terrible. Let's keep it real. He was not good. The beginning of the season got together, though, towards the tail end. He's still obviously on this team. He should still be one of the better players in baseball. Lorenzo Cain is going to be on this team as well. Colton Wong is going to be playing second for them now. Jackie Bradley Jr. is new to Milwaukee as well. Avisel Garcia is there too, so I don't know who's going to be starting because Lorenzo Cain and Yelich do have their spots secured. Keston Hiura is probably going to be batting cleanup for this team as well. A lot of power out of him. The starting rotation is a little bit concerning. I know Brandon Woodruff is going to be their guy. Brett Anderson, Corbin Burns, Andrew Hauser. That's a little bit concerning. I don't love their rotation. I really don't. Josh Hader out the pen is always going to be consistent. He's always going to be one of the better closers in the league, so there's no concern there. But the starting rotation concerns me a little bit. This team is going to be good, but I still have them in second, only behind the St. Louis Cardinals. I'm buying into the hype. I really am. I'm buying into the Cardinals hype right now. Nolan Arenado obviously coming over from Colorado. I like this team. Paul Goldschmidt batting second, probably. Yadi Molina still behind the dish. He's kind of old, but still, he's still got an arm. And the rotation's good too. Jack Flaherty is one of the better pitchers in the National League. He is very good. Carlos Martinez is very good. Adam Wainwright, don't get me wrong, is still a very good starter. I know he's not the Adam Wainwright we are used to, but he's still very good. Alex Reyes is likely going to be their closer as well. Dylan Carlson is an amazing player, probably going to be in center field for them this season. Be on the lookout for him. He is very talented as well. Paul DeYoung, Tyler O'Neill is a speedster in left field. I like this Cardinals team. I think they have the pieces and they have enough talent to go win the NL Central again a year after missing the playoffs. We got the Cardinals winning the division. Now in the NL West, last place, I got the San Francisco Giants. Not sold on this team. A lot of people do like this Giant squad. I'm not one of them. Tommy La Stella is now over here in San Francisco. You got Mike Yastrzemski, obviously an amazing player in right field for them. Alex Dickerson will most likely be in left. Buster Posey is getting up there in age, and he is getting up there in age. He can still hit, but he's not great behind the dish anymore. Brandon Belt had a good season last year, don't get me wrong. Brandon Crawford is going to be at short this year. The starting rotation's just all right. Kevin Gossman, Johnny Cueto, Logan Webb, Aaron Sanchez, Anthony Descalfani. It's an alright team all around, but I still think they're the worst in the division. Yeah, it was tough though, because the Rockies aren't great either. I mean, they got rid of Arenado. They got rid of a lot of pieces on this team. The Rockies are not that great. You got Tapia still in left field. You got Charlie Blackmon, tremendous hitter, batting third. You still got Trevor Story on this team. The rest of the team is not that special. Garrett Hampson's all right. Brendan Rodgers is all right. Ryan McMahon is all right. CJ Crone is all right. Just nothing special other than, I would say, Charlie Blackmon and Trevor Story, for being honest. The rotation's not good though. Herman Marquez is solid. The rest of the rotation is not very good. John Gray's okay. Yeah, it's not very good. The bullpen is terrible. I don't like this Rockies team. I really don't. I just think they're a little bit better than the Giants. I think this team plays well at Coors Field. They just do, because they got a lot of big bats who can push it over the fence over there. That's why I got the Rockies just a little bit better than the San Francisco Giants. In third place, we got the D-backs. Yeah, we know the top two teams are in this division. It's just a matter of where they go, but the Diamondbacks are the third place team in this division. You still got Madison Bumgarner, who's looking for a bounce back season, I would say. I hope he does well. I don't know, but Mad Bum is still their best pitcher, I would say. The starting lineup is pretty solid. Ketel Marte looking for a good year on this team. The Marte Parte is still in Arizona. David Peralta is still on this team as well. Christian Walker, Eduardo Escobar, Nick Ahmed. It's an all right team. The bullpen's okay. We don't know who their closer is going to be. I'm assuming it's going to be Soria, but who knows? The Diamondbacks, again, they are all right, but like we know the top two teams are in this division. It's the Dodgers and Padres and everyone else. So let's get to the team I have at number 2. And it's the Dodgers. Yeah, I got LA in second. I got them in second. I know, like, how do you beat this team? Because their pitching rotation, Kershaw, Bauer, Buehler, Urias, May. Holy crap, that team's good. How do you beat this team? I know I put them in second, but looking at it now, holy crap, man. This team is good. And you still got Mookie Betts, you got Corey Seager, you got Justin Turner, you got Bellinger, you got Max Muncy, you got Chris Taylor, you got Pauly, you got Smith, you got Jansen out the pen, you got Brusdar Graterol probably out the pen as well. Damn, this team is good. They are so damn good. They won the World Series last year, Mickey Mouse, whatever. They won the World Series last year, though, over the Tampa Bay Rays. Kershaw finally got over the hump. He finally won a World Series. And you add the Cy Young to this team. Trevor Bauer's a Dodger. Insane. Still got them in second, though. Behind the Padres. I'm on the Padres hype train. I am. I mean, the moves they made in the offseason, man, and we talk about how good the Dodgers starting rotation is. Look at the Padres. Yu Darvish, Blake Snell, Chris Paddock, Joe Musgrove, and probably Adrian Morejon? Maybe? Who knows who their fifth guy is going to be, because we know Clevinger's not going to be ready for this season, but this team is good, man. And I know I just did the Padres franchise with 169 damn episodes, but I'm all in on this team. I am all in on the Padres, man. I really am. They were so good last year. They were just a couple series away from making the World Series last year. This team is good. Tommy Pham, you got Fernando Tatis Jr., who is going to be one of the faces of the game in a couple of years. Manny Machado is still an amazing player as well at third base. One of the better third basemen in the league. Eric Hosmer, showing that he can still go. He's still a very good first baseman. Will Myers, you got Jake Cronenworth, you got Jurickson Profar as well. And I know they got rid of a lot of their good prospects, but it doesn't matter. The Padres are in win now mode, and they're set, man. Emilio Pagan, great at the bullpen as well. I'm going with the Padres to be first place here in the NL West. First time in a while, but we're going with the Padres. So real quick, just going to go with my order here, who I have in the AL playoffs. We got the 1 seed, we got the New York Yankees. 2 seed, Houston Astros. 3 seed, Minnesota Twins. 4 seed, I got the Blue Jays, and the 5th seed, I got the Rays. Yeah, I got 3 teams coming off the NL East, but that's what we got over there. And in the National League, we have got the number 1 seed San Diego Padres, 2 seed Washington Nationals, 3 seed St. Louis Cardinals, 4 seed Los Angeles Dodgers, and we got the New York Mets sliding in there with the 5th and final seed. Now we are officially into the playoffs, and we're starting first here with the AL wildcard game. We've got the Toronto Blue Jays playing host to the Tampa Bay Rays. The reigning defending AL champions are now going to play in this wildcard game against the Blue Jays. The likely starters for this game will be Tyler Glasnow for Tampa, and then for the Blue Jays, you will have Hyun-Jin Ryu. This will be a very fun game to watch. Both these teams are very good. It is a rematch of last year's first round of the playoffs between the Rays and the Blue Jays. The Rays did win that series in 2 games. And I've got the Rays going on the road. I think they're going to do enough. I think they're going to beat the Blue Jays here. 1 game playoff, anything can happen. And in that 1 game, I'm going with the 5th seeded Rays. National League, we have got the New York Mets heading on over to Los Angeles to take on the Dodgers. This should be a very exciting game. I know Clayton Kershaw is supposed to be the best pitcher at the starting. He's going to get the starting job most likely on Thursday for the Dodgers, but I think in the playoffs, you got to have Bauer and DeGrom. Oh my goodness, what a game this can be, man. DeGrom and Bauer in the wild card round. The winner goes and plays the Padres. This is exciting. Both these teams are fun to watch. I think you're going to probably see a low-scoring game because I think Bauer and I think DeGrom are going to go a long time in this damn game, and I think the Dodgers are going to barely edge this one out. I'm going to say a low-scoring 2-1. I think the Dodgers win. Moving on, and we get the Padres series in the NLDS. So on to the ALDS. We're going to start first with the New York Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays. It's a fun series here. The 2 kind of best in the AL East, because I did actually have the Blue Jays in second, so it's the 1st versus the 3rd in the division. It is a rematch of last year's ALDS, and this time though, I know that series went to 5. I think the Yankees are going to get the job done this time. I'm going to say Yankees in 4. This team is, I feel like eventually they got to get over the hump, and I think this is the year they finally beat the Rays. They're going to beat them in the ALDS to move on to the ALCS, getting a little bit of revenge from last year. It's just tough for the Rays considering they're going to have to go to beat the Blue Jays in a 1-game series, and then right away you're going to have to turn around and take on the Yankees. It's a very tough task to do. So that all being said, going with the Yankees to win this one in 4 games. Now the other series in the American League, we've got the Houston Astros taking on the Minnesota Twins. It is a fun series. 2 teams, of course, that did just come off of winning their division. I think the Houston Astros, though, are the better team all around. Think about it. The Astros might have Verlander back for this as well, coming back from that Tommy John. I think the Astros are the all-around better team in this series. I think the Twins, again, losing the first round. Again, the Twins losing the ALDS. It's going to be tough for Minnesota, but I think the Astros are the better team, and we get that rematch against the Yankees in the ALCS. Now on to the NLDS. Starting off, it's the series everyone wants, the series that maybe should be in the National League Championship Series, but it can't happen, well, because we're expecting these 2 teams to be very damn good. It's the Padres and it's the Dodgers. I think these 2 teams will have the best records in the National League, but one of them has to be a wild card, and that means they probably will have to play each other in the first round. So I mean, this is going to be an insane series. It's going to be both these teams. I talked about it earlier. You look at the rotations for this team, for these 2 teams, absolutely insane. I mean, just think about these matchups we are going to see. The Dodgers got Kershaw, Bauer, Buehler, Urias, and probably Dustin May. The Padres, Darvish, Snell, Musgrove, Paddock. Insane starting lineups for these guys. And then the bats, insane. Padres, I mean, we're going to run through them real quick. Pham, Tatis, Machado, Hosmer, Myers, Cronenworth. You got Profar as well. I mean, good lord, the Dodgers, Betts, Seager, Bellinger, Smith, Muncy, Pollock, Taylor. This is going to be the series of the playoffs. We're going with the Padres again. I'm sticking on the Padres hype train. Moving on to the National League Championship Series. And the other matchup here in the NLDS, we've got the Washington Nationals taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. It is a rematch of the National League Championship Series 2 years ago. I think the Nationals are the better team here. I really think they are. The Cardinals are coming out the NL Central, which I think might be the weakest division in all of baseball here. The Nationals coming out of a very good division in the NL East with the Phillies, Marlins, Mets, and Braves. And I know I crapped all over the Phillies, but they're a solid team. Marlins, a very good team as well, and the Braves and Mets are two very good teams as well. I think the Nationals are all around the better team. Again, I said this last year, and I think if the Nationals get into the playoffs, they're going to be so damn scary, because think about it. In a 5-game series, the first 3 games you're going to have to see out of the Nationals, it is going to be Scherzer, Strasburg, and it's going to be Corbin. Nationals in 3. That simple. ALCS time, and the storyline for this is insane. It is the Houston Astros, and it's the New York Yankees. This is going to be so highly anticipated, man. Again, the storylines are just here. Astros and Yankees. Garrett Cole pitching against his former team, and I think I did have this last year as the LCS as well. I could have. I'm not quite sure about that, but it's a great series. It really is. I think the 2 best teams right now in the American League are probably the Astros and the Yankees, and I got the Yankees winning. This team all around, they should not, on paper, they should not lose. They really shouldn't. I mean, their pitching is great, and their bats are probably the best in baseball. Like I said this last year, I don't know how the Yankees lose. They did last year. They lost in 5 games in a very close series to a very talented Rays team. But this year kind of seems like they kind of have to do it this year, man. They really do. LeMahieu, Judge, Hicks, Stanton, Torres. Those are the first 5 guys you have to pitch to in a game. Playing at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Short porch out there. Going with the Yankees to win the series. I think they're going to be able to get the job done, and they're moving on back to the World Series. Now in the NLCS, I've got the San Diego Padres taking on the Washington Nationals. A very fun series here. 2 of the better teams. I know the Nationals, a lot of people are not very high on. I, of course, still am. Again, bias aside, the Nationals are good. They're a talented team. The pitching will carry them through a lot of damn games. But in this series, I think it's going to catch up to them. Of course, you got the core 3. You got Scherzer, you got Strasburg, you got Corbin. You got Joe Ross and John Lester. Lester was not spectacular last year for Chicago. He's serviceable, don't get me wrong, but he's not the greatest. It's just not enough to keep up with the Padres. Look at the arms the Padres do have. Darvish, Snell, Musgrove, Paddock, Morhan. It's better than what the Nationals got, and I think the Padres lineup is just a little bit better than the Nationals as well. Okay, it's a lot better. It really is. The Nationals are really relying on their top 4 guys in their lineup. It's going to be Trey Turner. It's going to be Juan Soto. It's going to be Josh Bell. It's going to be Kyle Schwarber. Other than that, this team is going to struggle against the Padres. That's why I got the Padres. Unfortunately for me, got Padres in 5. Now it is time for the World Series. We've got the New York Yankees and the San Diego Padres. What a damn fun series this could be. I mean, me personally, the 3 best teams in baseball, Yankees, Padres, Dodgers. I feel like that's pretty obvious. And after the Padres-Dodgers series, which I do have San Diego getting out of, this is the matchup you are going to get. On paper, the Yankees should run through the American League. They should. In the NL, it's going to be a bloodbath. There's a lot of very good teams in the National League. I mean, the top dogs in the NL, Padres, Dodgers, Braves, Mets, Nats, Cardinals, Brewers. I mean, it's those teams, right? Those are the top dogs in the National League. Whoever gets out of that league, I got the Padres currently. It's going to be a fun series here with the Padres and the Yankees. Both these teams are so well balanced. Both of them have big talent all around the lineup. You might see a team like the Padres make even more moves at the deadline this year to try to improve, going all in on this one season. I think it's going to pay off. San Diego Padres winning the World Series. I got them getting the job done. I think San Diego's a better team than the Yankees, especially in this World Series. I think they're going to have enough, and the Padres coming out of nowhere. Before last year, the Padres were not expected to be in this spot. Last year, of course, they do make it to the NLDS. They get swept by the Dodgers, but this is their year. They're going to beat the New York Yankees in the World Series, getting revenge for 98, and I got the San Diego Padres winning this series in 7 games. It's going to be a hard-fought series. Go with San Diego, and we got the Padres winning the entire thing. Again, we are riding the Padres hype train. Choo-choo, get on board. I'm all in on the Padres this season. Let's see if they get it done. And folks, thank y'all for watching my 2021 MLB predictions here on the channel. Again, these are just predictions. Who knows what's going to happen this season? Just my honest predictions, and we got the Padres winning the entire thing over the New York Yankees in the Fall Classic. So again, if you have not yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. We're going to have a lot more MLB coming out in the next couple weeks when MLB The Show does come out on, what is it, the 17th this year? It's around then. Very excited for that game. Be on the lookout for a new franchise coming up very soon. Again, folks, thank y'all for watching. Make sure to leave a like also if you did enjoy the video. Thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.